GGRC.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and today we're checking out Jack and Jill DX. Though it kind of reads as Jack and DX Jill. I don't know. It's a strange logo. But to be honest, this isn't a bad game. This actually is pretty cool. It's only $5. It's on the Switch, and it contains 140 levels. That's right, 140. So there's a lot of content here. We go in here, you can see that I've actually already played through the first 20, the second 20, and I'm now in the middle of the third 20. They're basically sets of 20. But as you can see here, as you go through, lots of levels, 140 to be exact. So the whole point of this game is that you can play as either Jack or Jill. You can see down in the bottom left corner here. If you want to play as Jill, she's the one with the bow on her head. If you want to play as Jack, he's the bald guy. You know, I could relate. So here's the whole thing. All you're doing when you go into a level is you're trying to get Jack and Jill to meet. He even tells you here, I'm Jack, trying to get to Jill. And basically what you do is you run, you collect coins, and you get to Jill. It's as simple as that. But of course that's World 1-1 as well, right? It's always going to be that simple when you start. Hey, look at that. Look how many coins I got. That's how cool you know I am. But regardless, yeah, all you're doing, having Jack meet Jill, but there's a twist on the controls here. The whole thing is that when you're playing as Jack, you hit A to start running, and right now he's running without me actually hitting anything. So it's another one of those automatic runner type platformer games. But this one seems to be a little bit more responsive and cool, in my opinion, because even though you play through some of these levels here that are incredibly easy, as you go on, the levels do get much more in-depth and much more difficult. Let's actually head back. Let's go to World 2. And I can show you off one from World 2 here. Then we'll jump over to 3, because 3 is where the real challenge has been so far. So here you go. See, he automatically runs. You jump over these holes here, but you also learn how to wall jump. Here we go. One more jump back over. There we go. Jump, wall jump over. So you have enemies there. You actually have the choice of jumping on their head. And then when you jump on... Oh, jeez, that was a bad move right there. Back over. When you jump on their head, you can actually jump off of their head, or you could just, like, let the normal bounce like that happen. It's actually pretty interesting the way they devise the platforming in this, because... There we go. That was a more complex level there. But the platforming in this, the way they devise it, is kind of interesting, because sometimes you'll have two enemies in a row, and you have to judge whether you're going to have to actually jump on that enemy's head and, you know, do a long jump off of him or do a normal jump off of him to hit the next enemy, and then also consider how you're going to hit the next platform, because there might be a spike there, whether you need to jump over that spike or right before it and then jump again. So there are little things like that you need to consider while you're playing the game. And I find that to be actually really, really smart. This game seems like one of those games where they've kind of thought of like everything they can do with the whole concept of, you know, the Jack or Jill sort of like automatically running no matter what here. So this one, for instance, like you're trained to automatically jump. See right there, we had to bounce off him to get it. You're trained to automatically jump off of walls and do the right wall jump. But some of those wall jumps there, or wall stops, you don't actually want to jump off them. You want to hit the wall, stop, and drop. Because otherwise, if you jump again, you're going to hit a spike, or you're going to be at the wrong side, and you'll fall down and hit something. It's not going to be good. So that was a couple levels from World 2. Let's jump into a couple levels here from 3. Let's do level 3 here. You can see the aesthetic of the level has changed a bit too. And now we have these bricks that will break as well. And you also get the addition of these shoes. So these shoes make you run fast, but only temporarily. So you got to make sure you're using those shoes at the proper time. Okay, so we grab those shoes, do the jump, jump again, jump again, jump. So we bounce off that. Oh! Messed that one up. So as you can tell, these levels do get far more complex than what we were seeing in the first world. The first world is a definite breeze. It really is like the tutorial world. But you can already see that the way. Oh, jeez, I keep not hitting jump right there. You can already see that just in World 3, there's already quite a bit of challenge, which is kind of nice. It's nice to see the challenge go up immediately from where you were. Okay, so we do that. All right, we hit that wall. We can jump. There we go. We want to avoid those enemies. Hit this enemy. There we go. See, this one we got to bounce off there. Hit the plunger there. Keep jumping. We got the shoes. As long as you got those shoes, you can jump far. There we go. We made it to Jill. So again, as you can see, much more complex, and they're throwing a lot at you. Let's actually go to the next level here, which I haven't played yet. Let's see if we can make it through this one here. With the plunger. So yeah, for a $5 game, I'm actually pretty impressed with this. I gotta be quite honest. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be... Yeah, I did the wrong thing right there. Of course, it's one of those games where you can tell it's a $5 game. There's things about it that aren't quite perfect. Some of the things that bother me are the collectibles, for instance, like the coins. They make a sound when you collect them, but if you collect 2 or 3 in a row, there's only one coin sound, and it's very strange, because you're expecting to hear one for each one. So right there, I collected 3, you only hear 2. We're gonna go back this way, jump, we gotta hit the enemy, bounce off, there we go. Grab some more shoes. There we go, we met Jill. And the only other thing, too, is that some of these levels have gotten super, super long, right? And it's to the point where I feel like some of these levels should, you know, have some sort of checkpoint in them, because without a checkpoint, you're going to get really, really tired of having to start the same level over and over and over again, especially when it's a long level. You can tell that one we just played was quite a bit longer than some of the other ones we have played already. Nope, that was a bad move. So you might find yourself actually... I did the same thing. You might find yourself dying at the exact same part, you know, like 60 seconds into the level, and just getting more and more frustrated with it because you're just like, what am I doing wrong at this part? And you gotta wait 60 seconds every single time to jump to that part to figure out what you're doing wrong, only to die again. So it's one of those things where, man, oh, I shouldn't have jumped right there. See, little things. But as I've already said, for a $5 game on the Switch here, like this, to me, if you're a platforming fan and you're looking for something new, especially something that's got sort of like the Game Boy style aesthetics to it, that you could definitely do much worse than this game. Like I said, I'm having a pretty good time with it, considering. Oh, geez, that was not a good move. There we go. That one is an enemy invincibility thing, which is kind of cool. So you can just run right through enemies. Hit the plunger, jump. The other thing you might see in some of the levels too is that there's branching pathways, so you'll find out that you don't actually have to go the way that, you know, you think you had to go, because right there you can see, like, I was probably supposed to go the other way, hit the plunger, do something, maybe to collect more coins or something like that, but I completely bypassed that and was able to get through going the other way, which is pretty cool. Let's try out one more here. Jump. Okay, there we go. Making sure we got enough time with our boots here. So we just ran out of time. Jump. Time those jumps. Okay, we're gonna bounce here, hit the plunger. Just very clever use of all of the items that are available in the game to make it all work. There we go, we got to Jill. So for a smaller game, a $5 game, I think that this is definitely, you know, worth your money if you're a platformer fan. I think it's very, very cool. In addition to those games, you also have mini games you can play. I haven't quite completely figured out how the mini games and stuff work. Apparently, you could pay 100 coins to play this, and then you get tickets, right? So then I believe you go into the shop here, and you can use those tickets to buy something. But the first mini game was like kind of laughably easy, which is kind of strange. We actually need one more ticket so we can get some hats for our guys. This actually reminds me of Box Boy, for those of you who played that series. A great series of games, but you can put all kinds of costumes and hats on Box Boy, which is pretty cool. And this looks like it's got sort of the same look to it. with the hats and everything like that. Looks like you can also change the screen color too, which I didn't see before. So if you'd like red to like really pierce your eyes, you can do that. Oh, it looks like you have to get a key to unlock 3-9 for some odd reason. Oh, that's interesting. And oh, you can buy 1,000 tickets for 10,000 coins. So you can actually spend your coins on tickets if you want. So you can spend 500 right now and get 10 tickets. But no big deal there. Let's actually jump into one of these. So let's do baddie collect for 100 coins. So for example here, press A to jump and wall jump, collect coins and tickets, avoid the baddie repellent. Alright, so this controls just like it would with Jack or Jill. And now we're trying to collect coins. Wow, it's 3 tickets, it's pretty good. Get that one. Let's drop here, grab this one. I gotta avoid the baddie repellent because otherwise I don't know what'll happen. I guess you'll perish. Oh! Okay, right there. He's done. Complete. So yeah, when you're dead, which kind of sucks. In this one, baddies cross the valley, which will play really quick. You help the baddies get across by jumping. And if you die, you just kind of like get another baddie and just keep going. So this one you really just do for a minute and you keep collecting tickets as you go. You get 1 for every guy that gets through. So like I said, yeah, these mini games aren't really all that hard. They're just a, you know, a means to collect more tickets and looks like to buy hats. And who doesn't like a good hat on their character, right? Jump, jump. I do want to say though, with the mini games though, it's kind of refreshing to actually get to play as the bad guys in a mini game. I don't understand the whole Jack and Jill motif, I just want to say. I actually had 2 tickets for that one. It looks like the further you go, you get more tickets. But like, we could have picked any 2 names. I'm not sure why Jack and Jill. Could have been like Blob and Blobbette or something like that, you know what I mean? But there we go, we completed those. Let's actually go buy a hat. And let's go check out what that looks like. Alright, so we can buy anything in the 25 to 50. Okay, we got 71, so we can buy all kinds of stuff here. We can be a mouse. Let's see, we can get a hat, derby. We can get a crown. We can't afford those yet. Let's go with the cat ears in celebration of Sushi, even though he's not joining us tonight, unfortunately. Let's put those on. Okay. That looks like that's the one we're wearing. And let's go back to play here. Just want to see what he looks like with the ears. Look at that. Awesome. Adds a little bit of depth to the character too, which is kind of fun. But yeah, there you go, everybody. That is Jack and Jill DX. As I said, I feel like I've kind of a broken record at this point, because the game it's pretty straightforward. What you see is what you get here. It's a fun little platformer for really cheap. You could definitely do worse on platformers, and to be honest, I don't think it's going to be a very long game for you either. If you're just looking for kind of like a palate cleanser game, something quick to play in between big games, you know, that kind of thing. It's actually a fun little platformer, so definitely recommend checking out. If $5 is too much for you, maybe wait for a sale. I don't know, but that's already pretty cheap. But there you go, everybody. That is Jack and Jill DX GG. And I'll see you all next time.
GRC.